Sorry for the delay. We're back. Lexi, can I talk about where you're from, or like what your hobbies were growing up?
So I did mostly dance growing up. That was probably my number one thing that I liked to do. Did the high school dance team, danced privately at a couple different studios, and then I also did theater and debate and speech. I loved all the nerdy and theatrical, artsy things that I could do.
See, why is that like nerdy? Why is debate and speech like considered nerdy?
I mean, I don't know. I remember riding the charter bus, and it was fun, nerdy. Like everybody was valued intellect over anything else. So I guess that's probably the stereotype.
Because like I was just talking about it with one of my other guests. We were talking about like the value of like public speaking.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you have that mastered and you're not afraid to like be in front of people,
right.
I feel like that's such a strength. Like,
yeah, absolutely, it is. I think it's probably just the scope from being in high school, in that time frame. But
what kind of plays were you in? Anything?
I did. I feel like in high school I didn't do much of anything beyond like being an extra in small roles. But then when I graduated and was outside of high school, I did Steel Magnolias at the Matthews Opera House.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I got the lead role, which I had never done anything like that. So that was really fun and challenging. And
what was that like?
It was really cool. It was, yeah, I got the part, and yeah, I had never really done anything. I'd never memorized to that degree. And
do you remember what Steel Magnolias is about? I remember. I know it's a movie.
Yep. So it's a movie. The movie was with Julia Roberts and Sally Fields, and there's a really amazing actresses. But it's about a group of women in a salon. So it's kind of funny because I was not at that point in cosmetology school or anything, but I kind of just live Steel Magnolias now in my real life.
Matthew McConaughey here was a lawyer in real life. He went to law school.
Really?
Oh, and he's known for like doing lawyers in movies.
So cool. So yeah, that makes sense. See, yeah, life imitates art.
I guess you were saying. So it's about
yeah. So it is just like a women's life. The main character Shelby is diabetic, so it kind of follows her health journey.
You were Julia Roberts.
Yeah. So I was. Her name was Shelby. Okay. So I was Shelby, and it's kind of a tearjerker. It's kind of a sad story, but it's really witty and funny. So
what's it like to kind of follow the footsteps of like such a big actress like
Julia Roberts? I mean, I probably watched that movie 100 times just to see her play the part that I was like reading the lines for, and how she brought that to life. It was really cool. It was a really fun experience. Was there pressure at all to kind of make the role your own, or to kind of do exactly what she did, or how did you work that out? The director was amazing and just really helpful, and she was very aware that I had never done anything as far as performing arts, like acting. I had never done that before, so she was really helpful just because it's a different beast. It's a different thing. And yeah, so just kind of, make it your own. But there was no pressure. She was really just helpful. Okay. And then I guess when you, kind of going off away from acting a little bit, what were your other hobbies? What made you want to stick in Spearfish, South Dakota? I've always loved the area. I love the cities as well. So I've always, and still do always toy with, going to Arizona just because so much of my family is there. But right now in this season of my life, I do really like this area. I love all the things that we have access to, and, specifically Spearfish, I think has such a great community that, just kind of enjoying it and not seeking elsewhere, I guess. Okay.
Then BH, was that you went to BH, right?
Yes.
What brought you here? Like, what made you want to jump into a college program, I guess?
I've always wanted to go to college. Straight out of high school, I went to an online school. Didn't love it. It was pre-COVID, so it wasn't the normal thing that people are used to now, and I just didn't have the.
You seem like you're a people person.
Yeah,
I feel like
I was.
you probably need to be around people.
Yeah, so I did that. Didn't go to school for a while after that, and then went to BH, and you know just knew I loved learning. I really, really enjoy it. So I just wanted to take all the classes I was interested in at that point and then kind of figure out where to go from there.
Did you try out any plays in college?
I didn't. No.
Okay.
No, I didn't. I was working a lot and doing school, so it just kind of at that point wasn't in the schedule time frame.
So how did you get to the point where you're at now, where you're wanting to explore this new thing? Like,
So after I dropped out of BH, I wanted to do something that was a little more short-term, attainable. And I was just really sick of working at being a waitress. I was never a good waitress. I was never good at things like that. Nope. And so my mom was really encouraging and said, you've always really loved all of the girly things, I suppose. So, maybe explore that. So I went to Rapid City and toured Black Hills Beauty College. And it was a good environment. So I decided to go on with the program. I was the first class that they had when they switched their hour requirement. So it was a little less time than originally. So it was about 9 months. So it really wasn't, it didn't feel like a big commitment in the sense that like, if I hated it, it was okay. I had to try and I needed to do it and I loved it. So then I ended up, living in Spearfish still, and just applied at a couple salons and I ended up at Piranha Salon.
Cool. How long is the program again?
For cosmetology, I believe it's like, it goes by hours, but it usually takes people about like 9 to 10 months.
Okay. Then what did you do during that? Did you live in Rapid during those months, or do you just kind of go back and forth?
Yep. So I drove every day, and that was not very fun. Like I said, I don't love driving, so it was a long 9 months, but it just made sense to stay in Spearfish instead of getting.
Is there any advice you would give to other college students that maybe the four-year classic college program maybe isn't for them?
Yeah, I think people really overlook technical schools. I think that they, whether it's because of stereotypes or anything like that, there really is so much that you can do with a technical school. And my time at BH, has really helped me in my job today as far as, the photography program that I did, and I use those skill sets every single day. But I also have a licensing to be able to do something else. So it is really beneficial. And I think people who have an interest in something, to explore it.
Okay. And then talk about like after you did find that thing that you liked, what was it like putting yourself out there to like try to find a group of people to work with?
Yeah. So, I was really intimidated when I very first applied to Piranha, and actually just kind of happened naturally because my cousin was friends with the owner and he was like, go apply there, Lexi, and I was like, I'm scared there, I don't know. And so I did, and all of the girls are super talented there. So of course it was intimidating, and being, very new to everything. It was intimidating, but they were all really great. And luckily, I found what I needed exactly there. Like, it really just kind of divinely worked out how it was supposed to. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Now, I feel like other people kind of like saw that you had this gift to do like this girly stuff. At what point did you believe that going this route was something that you wanted to try?
Yeah. So, I think the people around us definitely are observant to ourselves. I think sometimes we can get even lost in that. And I knew I loved doing all those things, but it just didn't feel at first attainable, or I just wasn't sure. I think it was just like a lack of confidence. But then when I, just believed in myself, put myself out there, got to see myself do those things, perform in that way, help people, I, slowly builded that self-trust and confidence. And
Okay.
yeah.
And then I guess so how long have you been working at Piranha now?
Oh, I don't even know. COVID really was hard. I was so probably 3 years,
Even in
I would say.
Spearfish?
Yeah, I think just because, right before COVID was right when I very first started to move away from hair and started doing just aesthetics. And I, was just getting going with that. We were, setting it up, and then COVID happened. So, I came back to the salon when we reopened, and people didn't want to come get their face touched. It kind of made sense. It wasn't a necessity for a lot of people, and it was harder to be as safe about it because of I could wear a mask, but a client couldn't. So there were some challenges in that, and until
maybe wear gloves.
Yep, wear gloves. But yeah, like it just wasn't. It wasn't. That necessity the way even people getting their hair cut was. So that was a challenge. That was some navigating that I had to do after that. But eventually, being in Spearfish and being a little bit more free and open, we just kept going and just kind of had to persist.
Okay. I guess in that at Black Hills Beauty College, did you explored hair as well?
Mm-hmm. So the cosmetology program is hair, skin, and nails. So a lot of the girls, when they're in school, just kind of find their strong suit. And so even some of the girls that I did cosmetology with just do nails because they just, love that part of it. Some really took off with color or cutting or anything. And I just always really liked skincare the most because I had really bad acne growing up. Even mostly the worst it probably was my early 20s.
Really?
So it was very frustrating, very challenging. So because of
was that around when you were in that play?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
It's always kind of been just a persistent issue, that I've never really fully been able to figure out or hadn't really figured it out. And so then being in school, learning about it, and getting to know the science behind everything was really intriguing to me because I wanted to understand myself more. So
now, were you did that in what kind of impact did that have on your confidence? It sounds like you were doing debate class, you were already out in front of all these different people. What impact did having did it even have an impact on you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was it took even more to be confident, to put yourself out there in performing arts, and feeling just some of the anxiety and you think everybody's looking at your face, and really the reality is most people aren't, and it's just that self-consciousness. But yeah, it took extra confidence to be able to put myself out there.
It doesn't seem like it hindered you then.
Yeah, in a way. I never let it stop me from doing things, but I did pageants as well. So that was So, it kind of ebbed and flowed. I really feel like I said, the peak of a lot of it was actually after I had done a lot of those things and was my early adulthood. And that was a challenge.
Cool. I guess, so are you at the point where you feel comfortable that if anybody were to come into your salon and it was only you working, that would you be able to do everything? Nails,
hair, skin.
Yeah.
I think the best tool and gift to have within this field is to know your strong suits and to know when you can do something and when you can't. So instead of overpromising, instead of telling the girl with jet black hair that you can make her platinum blonde, maybe we can't do that. Maybe,
Okay.
I think you actually build a lot more trust with people when you're honest about what you can do for them realistically. But yes, I can still give a haircut. I can still dye hair. I can still do all of that. But I'm going to be honest about what I think we should do and what I feel my, levels of expertise are.
So there's certain things you can't do with people. Like you can't. It's
Some things we
pretty.
shouldn't, let's say. Like, there's certain
Okay.
things, even when it comes to skincare, a lot of times people hear words like microdermabrasion. And so, you can Google that quick and tell you what the outcome is, but the truth of it is it's not for everybody. Or a chemical peel isn't for everybody in every moment. So just guiding and having a really good consultation with somebody about what their goal is and what they want to do, and what tools you have to be able to help them get there.
What are like some of your ideal clients?
I would say people who are more into holistic methods of healing their skin, because that's my approach. I think that there are two directions that you can go, and it's either more of a medical route or a holistic route. And we have a lady that works at Piranha as well, and she does Botox and filler. She's really wonderful. I don't offer things like that. So it's really nice to be able to send people to her when it's something that I don't do. I'm more of a organic, natural approach to everything. So people who are more into that tend to be my ideal clients, and usually the people who stick around with me.
Okay. What does that mean to be? What does it mean to go to be more holistic and natural?
Yeah, so all of the products that I use are vegan, gluten-free, organic products that are more plant and food based. So instead of using any really harsh chemicals, I use, all the natural things to get people to that place. Our skin's our largest organ, so everything that we put on it, is going into our bodies. And from my approach and from my upbringing, I've always just been more prone to wanting to take a natural approach, a holistic approach to things. So it's just kind of innate for me.
Okay.
But yeah, I think, everybody has different experiences and success with different things. So yeah.
Okay. And I guess what do you feel like the dangers are going the other route?
Yeah. Well, so it's interesting. In America, we don't have as many laws surrounding what people can put in cosmetics. So that's pretty dangerous in the sense that sometimes, there are preservatives that are in, hair products, skincare products, lotions, fragrances that are knowingly very bad for us. They can be, endocrine disruptors, or they're, some of the preservatives are known carcinogens. And so to me, you're sacrificing levels of your health unknowingly. It's something that we do every single day. We get up and we put that lotion on, or we take that shower and use those products every day. And that consistency eventually is wearing down on our immune system because of essentially all the things that we're intaking because of it.
How did you did you fall back into like the stuff that were those bad products, and what did it take for you to? How did you discover the route of using like these clean products?
Yeah, like I said, it's just kind of always been a part of my upbringing. Probably
Okay.
a big amount of my mother's influence.
So your family's kind of always been.
Yeah, so pretty much the whole family across the board is very natural in everything that they do. We all kind of have our own little holistic thing that we do, it seems. And so, yeah, I guess I've never been one to go the route. I mean, I've used a lot of products. I used a lot of different things trying to clear my skin up. And even some of the harsher products didn't work for me. So it was less about organic versus, a more generic line or something. It was just figuring out the entire thing because there's so many ends to, acne specifically.
Okay. And then I guess what are like good products to look for?
There's a lot to finding good products. Unfortunately, a lot of it is marketing too and how we brand things. But yeah, just looking for things that promote themselves as natural. Learning how to read ingredients labels can be really helpful. And there's a really cool app that I love to use. It's called Think Dirty. And you can scan barcodes or look up products and it'll tell you, it rates it. So it's like 10 is really bad, 1's good. And it's about like the levels of basically toxins that are in it. And so it's really helpful because things with like a lot of fragrance can be really irritating for people. And
well, you get like I feel like at Spearfish we're lucky. We have stores like Bee's Knees and we have stores like Good Earth that sell natural products.
Yeah.
But like certain towns, like they don't have.
Yeah.
It's harder to find those natural stores, so a lot of people are stuck with having to shop at like your Walmarts or your. How would you get over that? Like, how would you educate people on to take a second look at Walmart, explore on how to get out of that? Like, I know people are very what's the word? We're very like we find something we like. Say we find like our Axe body spray, and we see that like as a little kid. Like I see like the beautiful women that are attracted to you from that, and I'm like, oh yeah, I need to go buy some Axe. And they sell that all at Walmart. Right. So like, how would you tell parents or how would you tell people how to or why to get away from that stuff?
Right. So I guess, just because of the world that we live in today, we're fighting a lot of free radicals, which basically are these things that are disrupting our body, essentially, right? So when you use those products, it's wearing on you even more. And eventually that can like change your DNA and it makes you more prone to getting sick and illness and premature aging. There's a lot of downfalls of it. So I think it's one, just education on people's part of why we shouldn't use certain products. And then two, exploring ways to, maybe if you don't have the accessibility to some expensive organic lines, you really can make your own things.
Really?
And I think that some estheticians would probably disagree with me. Some people would disagree with me on that. But I believe it's because, there really are things in your pantry that you can mix together that are not going to be harmful for you. There are, moisturizers that you can make yourself. There are toners you can make yourself with essential oils and, all of that. There, do research, make sure you know what you're doing. But the beauty industry is a huge industry and it makes a lot of money. So people benefit by having people not do that. So I would rather be able to help somebody if it comes to accessibility on any end to just be able to use things that are good for you.
What substances in brands would you tell people to avoid?
Well, there's a lot, and there are lists and lists.
Or is a list shorter for like stuff to look for in your shampoo?
Things that are paraben-free, sulfate-free, all of that stuff is...
What's that first one you said? Paraben?
Paraben, yeah. So that's a preservative.
Okay.
Yeah. So just, finding something a little bit more natural. I mean, especially, I feel like fragrance is a huge deal, and obviously you can smell fragrance, and we are all very drawn to that. But something that I noticed on myself when I would ever like break out on my neck or my back or anything, a lot of times it was because I was using something in regards to my hair that was, touching my skin, irritating it, creating a breakout.
Cool. Yeah. And then is there like, is like a woman with like the cheap hair dyes that you can find at Walmart is that stuff that's like really even good for your hair?
Yeah, no. So it is very bad. I think hairstylists would agree that, yeah, stay away from box dyes. I mean, you don't even know what's going to happen to your hair sometimes. And so, like, it is a more affordable option, but if it goes south, you're probably going to end up spending more money trying to correct it. So, usually best to just stay away from those things.
Then if we have like we have a lot of college women who are probably aren't working a lot, like what are some like cheap ways that they can find or affordable ways that they can find like the healthy shampoos or the healthy?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely can get expensive when it comes to organic products and stuff. But I think, just embracing, your natural textures in your natural hair, and finding, just fewer products, and, going to a professional, asking them for their advice and stuff, and just investing in those products, because sometimes it definitely can be a little bit more expensive. But
Well, what's the difference between like going to a professional like you who's more into the natural side versus like going to like cost cutters? I feel like people end up going, or Walmart, they end up going to get their hair cut there. And like what's where they have more of those stuff with free radicals in it. How would you like what do you look for that? Like how do you find these professionals?
Yeah, you just researching, asking around, especially, in smaller areas like this. I feel like a lot of it is word of mouth, and you end up just kind of finding your little community of people who have some of the same belief systems as you, and just knowing the right questions to ask as far as, what's your approach can be the simplest way to ask, because that's going to tell you really fast what they think and what direction they're going to take for you.
Are there any red flags to look for?
I don't know. Definitely look for people who have legitimate licensing, that
Okay.
that's a big deal. Any type of like extra certifications are good. That would be a green flag for sure. Because I think just furthering your education, even, going to cosmetology school isn't just the end. There's a lot more work to do after that. And I felt not necessarily ready for the world just by graduating. Luckily, my aunt is an esthetician in Phoenix. And so having a mentor, creating relationships with people who have been in the industry for a while, and learning from them and just continuing your education.
You always had a pretty close relationship with your aunt, I feel like.
Yeah, absolutely. It was really nice to be able to, ask her questions and get her advice, because sometimes it could be contradicting to what you've learned before, but sometimes that real life experience is more valuable. So yeah, you just kind of have to explore and figure out, and then your own real life experience of what has worked for your clients and what you've learned through that process.
Now, do you feel like you've cracked the code for like the Jennifer Anistons out there that are like 40, 50 years old and that just have these amazing skin?
I mean,
do you feel like you've cracked the code?
I don't know. I don't know about that. I think a lot of the women in Hollywood have a lot of Botox and injections, and truly it has come so far that people can do it on a really natural level. And so it just kind of depends, who you're looking to as far as advice, and who you're imaging yourself after. Because if you're looking at the Jennifer Anistons with gorgeous skin, there's a team of hair and makeup and probably
she has the money to be able to spend $1 million on her skin.
So yeah, creating some grace for yourself and not playing the comparison game is really valuable too, because it can be very easy to do. Everybody does it, but so just kind of talking to realistic people. I mean, I'm so fortunate to be able to say that I had skin issues and that I can relate. And so that has been probably the biggest blessing with everything, because I truly understand what people are going through, and what has worked for me. And, I have scarring from my acne, and I don't have any shame around it. It's something that I went through. It's something that has taught me so much. So there's just different perspectives to look at it, I think.
Now, do you like how often if you were to talk to those girls that were you back in those days, or to your younger self, like what advice would you give to them?
It doesn't last forever, even though it feels like it is. A big thing too for me is that I believe that people know themselves really well, and they're really intuitive, more so than we think. And so hearing out people and making them feel heard is so important, because that's something that I didn't always feel I got. I always felt from some of the people who were trying to help me, it just felt very sometimes condescending, or like I didn't know something.
Right.
And really, it's not even a lack of knowledge. It's just going through it. Our skin isn't this overnight process. You can't go into a salon and immediately have a change. That's not really how it works. So there's so much patience that's involved. And the more that you can accept it, not stress about it, one is going to help. So yeah.
What about in terms of like being able to get that confidence that you had to should they be, to like not be afraid to get in front of people?
I've always really liked makeup as well too, and that was actually probably a huge part of the confidence level that I had to be able to do performing arts and struggle with skin issues, but learn ways to cover it up and to work with my skin, with what was going on, and feel confident. And so then that probably is a huge reason why I like doing my makeup as much as I did growing up. And that is also something that I do as well for brides or special events. I do makeup. So it was another thing that actually lended to my skill set that I have now.
Sure. Now, are there like certain brands out there that you would recommend for people, or are there like what are healthy hair and skin products?
Yeah. My favorite that I use at the salon on everybody is called Hylunia. It is a really great brand. I think it's pretty affordable. And yeah, I sell it at the salon. As far as like hair products go, there's a couple, there's a lot. I really like, there's a new brand called Authentic Beauty Concept. Okay. That's a really nice, clean brand. So yeah, there's a lot. There's definitely always new products showing up and stuff. But as far as skincare goes, I always recommend Hylunia, because that's what I had my success with.
Okay. Now, do you feel like as like a salon, like somebody who does this, like do you only use the products that like you've used before?
Yeah, I really like to be able to know exactly what I'm doing to somebody, and what the products are like. And yeah, I think I would really have to explore myself new products if I was ever going to bring on more.
What about in terms of like different like skin textures? Like,
yeah,
is that different?
Mm-hmm, for sure. So Hylunia has a huge, allotment of products, and so just getting familiar with all of them, because there's different combinations and different products for every single person, and it even changes from session to session, because the time of year, the sun exposure that you have, what's going on with your skin. Right after the winter, everybody's usually pretty dry, so I'm really dictating in that moment, what do we need. It's not even like every single time you're going to come in and we're going to do this exact same thing. It's usually ever changing.
Now, I know that like as far as like facials go, especially like during the sun time, or if you're like constantly exposed to sun, does that have like health benefits to it versus like protecting yourself from the sun?
Yeah, I think the sun is wonderful, and there are a lot of health benefits to it. Protecting our skin in the process is just the biggest thing. So, wearing that SPF, wearing those hats, whatever you can do to not burn yourself, and that goes a lot into, tone of your skin and how easily you burn, but everybody, regardless of, their tone of their skin, needs SPF. It's just going to protect you, regardless.
Okay. And then I guess as we transition to a little bit more into like the business side of what you do, I still feel comfortable saying the word esthetician.
Esthetician.
Did I say it right?
Yes, esthetician.
I guess what does it take to what's it look like to like find a good team to work with?
Yeah. So there's like different ways to do it. There's commission based salons, there's booth rentals salons. So it kind of depends on what direction you want to go. I rent a room at Piranha Salon. So thankfully the team is wonderful and we all work together. All the girls are really great. So, but I, have my own business license and all of that and still pay, my taxes myself.
Oh, wow.
And so it's under Piranha Salon, but I'm still running my own business in terms of everything else.
Okay. Then you kind of get to like choose your own hours.
Yeah, that's a really awesome benefit of it. I will probably overwork myself always just because I love being able to help people. So, I'm there randomly all the time. But yeah, it's really great to be able to have that freedom to be able to leave when I want. And, go on trips, go see family, do the things that everybody wants to do. So I'm really fortunate to have that aspect of it.
Okay. And then what, do you have any like kind of like funny stories of like the worst clients you've had? Have you've had those Karens before?
Honestly, everybody's really nice. I mean, more times than not, everybody's wonderful. And, yeah, I don't even know if I could tell you any funny stories.
Maybe you're just lucky. Or you just got that
I gotta knock on wood. Because, hopefully. But, yeah, everybody is really wonderful. And, you create pretty strong bonds with people. And they just they feel like friends at the end of the day, Do
you feel like that's like the benefit of working in a small town salon? Where you get to you probably see like the same people on a more consistent basis.
Yeah, for sure. I think more consistency, but I think you end up just getting your clients. I mean, even for the hairstylists, a lot of them have their consistent clients, so you get to know everybody pretty well. You can get your one-timers that come in and stuff, but even then, it's fun and interesting to know how they got there, or I sell gift certificates a lot, and it's usually for the people who wouldn't normally come in, right? So somebody will buy them a gift certificate, and it's awesome. I think, all of the men that I get are usually pretty nervous at first and don't really know.
Oh, you get men that come in.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, it's awesome because they kind of think like, oh, this is for girls, and then they realize like, oh, this is really relaxing and this is great.
I thought the same thing with pedicures. I always have to ask, is that the foot one or is it I always get confused. Yep. And then I started getting pedicures and I was like, oh, wow,
exactly.
Taking care of my feet is actually
it's for everybody for sure. Okay. So, yeah.
And then what about okay, what is a facial? I actually still don't know what a facial is.
Okay, well, so I usually ask people are we here for a therapeutic reason? Are we trying to address some certain issue? And are we going that direction? Or are we here solely based on relaxation? Creating as much of a spa environment, even though I am in a salon, is important to me because it is relaxing. It is time to yourself that you get to, lay down for an hour and not do anything else. I mean, it's very therapeutic in that. And so, yeah, just kind of figuring out what direction we want to go. But, I start and people just lay in my bed. I cleanse their face, assess their skin. I have a thing called a Woods lamp. It's like a UV light that shows me what's going on underneath the surface of their skin. So I get to, do a consultation with them, figure out what we need to do, and then I make some recommendations, and together we decide what we want to do.
Now, is that Do you ever like get involved with like with that lamp? Can you like see like cancerous
You
areas?
know, I mean, yes, we definitely learn how to and what to look for cancerous spots. Since I'm not a dermatologist, I'm
Well, I was
never
just saying
going
maybe that would
to.
be like a way like if you were to even get involved with it, like you might that might even be like precancerous or like to
Absolutely. And yeah, and that's like, something you have to learn as well of when to send people to a doctor. Because there are a lot of skin conditions and there are a lot of things that go on, that are, it's can be a lot of things.
so there's certain
So,
clients that you can't see or
mhm.
that you would have to
Yeah, so
send.
I have to assess people and make sure, that they could be worked on, whatever it is. So if I feel like it's out of my scope, then I will send them to somebody else or to a dermatologist, depending on what the issue is. But yeah, a lot of times it's never anything super extreme. Um, Acne can be on a scale for
No
sure.
leprosy at all.
No, I have not.
Okay.
No. So yeah, it's just kind of assessing, and then in the facial we do some masks, some treatments, whatever we think we need to do, and then the facial massage is my favorite part. It's always everybody's favorite part because we just don't get our face touched like that very often. So it's very different for some people. And, like reflexology, there's points in our faces that are associated with different parts of our body. And
Right.
so with acne too, something that I use as a tool is called face mapping. And so when certain areas break out more than others, it can help me and guide me in a direction of what's going on with somebody. So if I see somebody with a lot of breakouts around their chin,
Right.
or their jawline, it's usually associated with their hormones. So that can help us. Then we know, okay, cool. So what can we do to assist that? Do we need endocrine support? What do we need to do? The cheeks are associated with the lungs. So
Right.
is there something are you a smoker? Are you,
Right.
whatever it is? And then helps me play detective better. And then, yeah, doing the facial massage, hits all these acupressure points in our face and is really, really good for our health overall.
Okay. And then what about like do you do like full body stuff as well?
No, I do like a décolleté massage, which basically just as much blood flow as that we can get in this area is good, and it assists with lymphatic drainage. But beyond that, no, nothing, nothing that a massage therapist would do.
I've heard of like is there like weird stuff where they like put like oatmeal stuff like you like sit in like a bath of
There's a lot of different like
okay.
techniques and different things. Yeah.
And then so you just don't end at facials.
What was that?
You know, like facials isn't the only thing you do then.
Yeah. So I also do makeup, usually for weddings. So the summertime gets really busy with that. So
you're almost to your season then.
yeah, it's the weekends start to fill up very fast. This year in particular has been very busy. So
Okay.
yeah.
And I guess in terms of like you're getting ready for a wedding, why should you go to a professional cosmologist rather than I don't know, just like a girls' night?
It just depends. I think
I'm talking from a guy perspective too, so that like
you know, it just depends. Some women are very used to doing their own makeup.
Right.
I would do my own makeup, for instance, but somebody who maybe doesn't wear makeup every day or wants something very specific or even just, wants to feel pampered that day.
Okay.
It can really be as much as this day is stressing me out. I don't want to have to do it. I'm going to relax this morning before I get married, So there's a lot of reasons people choose to have somebody else do it and outsource. But yeah, it's really.
Now, as somebody that's in this business, like, are you still somebody that likes to be pampered and
yes.
have that? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, I definitely get massages regularly and, nails and all that stuff just because, you give to people a lot, and so being able to also set time to receive is really important.
Now, do you feel like that's like important too? Like if you were like a cosmologist that didn't take care of themselves, do you think it would be harder for you to? It'd be harder for them to kind of jump in this field.
Yeah, I think we all have intricate lives, and it comes down to what you're prioritizing, what you can make work in your life. But yeah, I think normalizing receiving and giving to yourself, setting time aside to take care of yourself is never a bad thing for anybody.
Okay. And I guess in terms of anything else you'd want to add to the program, how to or that you'd want to educate people with?
Yeah. I mean, there's so much things. I think just the knowing your products, knowing yourself, getting to know your skin better, and just education across the board. I don't know. There's just so much to that.
All right, we'll come back to, we're kind of going to wrap up here, and we're going to jump into a quick rapid fire questions.
Okay,
now, these are going to be random.
Okay.
So officially, what is your job title?
Esthetician.
Okay. What was the first job you've ever had?
I worked at a gown shop.
Okay. With weddings?
Yep.
Okay. I'm seeing a theme here.
I know, it's kind of consistent.
What is your favorite month?
May, because it's my birthday.
Okay. When's your birthday?
The 30th.
Oh, okay. Coming up then,
Yep.
at the end of the month. Favorite season?
Spring.
Okay. What's your favorite animal?
Dogs.
Favorite color?
Green.
Favorite food?
Indian food.
What word do you hate hearing?
Cutting edge.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't like that?
I love it.
Who is your favorite superhero?
Batman.
Who is your hero?
My mom.
Okay. What is your go-to pastime?
Painting.
Where did you go for your last vacation?
Denver? Does that count? I don't know. Yeah.
Did you have fun? Was it a vacation?
Yeah.
You had fun there?
Yes.
You were able to not.
Yes,
Okay.
vacation. Yep.
What is do you know any other languages?
French a little bit.
What's your favorite word to say in that language?
Pamplemousse.
What does that mean?
Grapefruit.
Grapefruit?
Yeah.
Why grapefruit?
I don't know, it's just a fun word.
I know that's I don't.
Like a LaCroix flavor.
Okay. That stuff's disgusting, by the way. I don't like that stuff at all. Favorite dessert?
Cake.
Got a cake you like?
I like German chocolate cake.
That's what you'd have at your birthday then?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your favorite breakfast food?
A bagel.
Any kind?
Yeah, any kind. Cream cheese on it though,
Okay.
preferably.
What is your favorite type of weather?
A little overcast. It's nice.
Favorite store?
Anthropology.
Anthropology? Where's that? Is it in the mall?
They're all over the place.
Okay, I've actually never heard of that one. What is the best non-curse word that one word insult?
Ooh, that's kind of hard. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe like I don't know. I have to skip it.
What are you, a morning person or a night person?
Night. Ugh.
So what time do you usually wake up?
Well, I force myself to get up early in the morning, but by nature I would not wake up early.
What time do you usually go to bed at night?
11:30.
Okay. Favorite type of music?
I don't know, all of it. I love music across the board.
What's your go-to?
Go to like indie rock, probably.
Okay. What's your if you were are you a Harry Potter fan?
Not really. Not
Okay, then let's
particularly.
get that one. Who is your best friend?
Bree.
Okay. And who are the 5 most important people in your life?
Oh, that's hard. Probably both my parents, my mom and dad.
They count as one.
They count as one?
Yeah.
Okay. My mom and dad, my sisters. I have 2 sisters, and Bree, best friend, and probably my other best friend, Angela.
Cool. One more.
One more? Oh my
One
gosh,
more.
one more. I don't know. I have so many friends.
Don't feel bad if she's not leaving
Yeah.
your hands out. She only asked 5. I only get 5.
Other important person, probably my grandma.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where can, if people wanted to come to you for a facial, where can they find you at?
You can call Piranha Salon. We have a website, a Facebook page, all of that, Instagram.
Do you have your own Instagram?
I have my own Instagram. It's Lexi Aesthetics. And yeah, you can always just message me, and I definitely do free consultations with people, and I'm always willing to chat.
When's the best time usually you would see them?
To see,
or like how full's your schedule? How far in advance are they?
Yeah, I get pretty booked up, but yeah, I'm always willing to make room for people if anything is urgent or wants to get in soon.
Perfect. Any last closing remarks?
No, just thank you.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming on the show today, Lexi. As iron sharpens iron, let one man sharpen another. Thank you.